Okay, here we are, Matthew Russell Lee, Inner City Press, here, Southern District of New York Courthouse in Foley Square. Today is Wednesday, 21st of September. We're covering the Trevor Milton trial, and I'm doing this here because it's right behind me, where a number of times now in this trial put questions to Mr. Milton. First time he didn't answer. I asked him about whether he'd said he doesn't give a, quote, shit about the environment. He said, that's absurd, and then his lawyer, Brad Bondi, said, don't film him and his family. The next time said, how do you think it's going? And he said, excellent, excited for the rest of the trial. Yesterday came out, didn't use the phone, thought it would be more likely to get an answer. Wanted his response to Mark Russell's testimony, but he said, hey, if you cover both sides, I might talk to you, which I'm pretty much trying to do. I'm pretty much what's say in the court. You can look at it at Inner City Press. In any event, we'll be covering that today. Also, in EDNY, the case of Tom Barrack, the illegal lobbyist for the United Arab Emirates, should have opening arguments today, and watch this space. The United Nations, speaking of corruption, and the UAE and others, yesterday was day one. Biden, nowhere to be seen. He was in New York to raise funds, but he was not at the UN. At the UN, we wrote a story putting together 4 of the speeches, just a cross-sampling of UNGA corruption. Brazil began, as always, number 1. He flew back from the UK, actually. He made it on time. Qatar, they've purchased the United Nations. They had an exclusive of Guterres' stolen second election, and their correspondent helped get Inner City Press thrown out of the UN. Thanks, bro. The Marshall Islands. This is a country that was targeted for bribes by Kerry Yan. He was an NGO inside the UN, sponsored, hosted by the UN Correspondents Association. He's been indicted. This is not the first time. Think of South News and Englab saying. And finally, for the day, CAR, a country where UN peacekeepers have repeatedly raped children, but the leader comes to New York and all he wants is weapons to keep himself in power. That's today's UN. Leaders selling out their children to be raped by UN peacekeepers and getting support in exchange to remain in power. Dictator to dictator aid at the United Nations. To be continued, Inner City Press.